The motor coach is the transportation symbol of the everyman. From East Coast to West and every stop in between, everyone in America has a bus in their lives. And when we really stop and think about it, the motor coach has been a pivotal force in shaping much of the landscape of the American culture. So join with us as we travel Lancer Insurance Company's Nostalgia Highway and our salute to a century of moving America. From the earliest days of the westward movement of the American population, the precursors of modern motor coach were the only means for getting large numbers of people to their destinations. Even as the railroads were being built across the nation, trains could not accommodate passengers who needed an additional vehicle to transport them to remote areas of towns once they arrived at the main station. The realities of overland travel made these earliest buses a lifeline to the living far inland, as mail and essential goods were also being delivered to areas where train travel didn't exist. As America grew in the 1920s, the population began to travel to more and more remote areas of the country. Bus travel began its tradition of providing safe and affordable access to areas that were previously off limits to large numbers of people. Hard surface roads were being built or multiplying rapidly all across the country. This, along with great advances in transportation technology, increased the mobility of just about everyone in the country. Urban and rural areas began to blend into one another rather than existing as distinctly different localities. It was also a time when the motor coach underwent a big design change. Instead of buses built on a truck chassis that required several steps up to the platform, the new, lower frame models needed only one step to enter the vehicle. The new design improved the appearance and comfort of the coach, which attracted a greater riding public, especially during a time when the concept of long-distance travel was booming. In the 1930s, with the onset of the Depression, the motor coach became a savior of sorts for Franklin Delano Roosevelt's policies. Motor coaches enabled thousands of workers needed for programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps and the Tennessee Valley Authority to be transported quickly and inexpensively to their destinations. The 30s also saw the cross-country network of hundreds of small bus operators joined in several famous national bus lines. This meant nearly every state in the country was served by bus service, a claim that no other form of public transportation could make. Bus travel increased dramatically in the 1940s, especially as bus companies were put into service carrying our troops to their foreign and domestic assignments, to weekend leave destinations, and then bringing them back home to their home bases when the war was over, a tradition that continues to this day with Desert Storm in Bosnia. Buses were also invaluable in helping those on the home front cope with gas rationing, by becoming a primary source of transportation, especially in urban areas as those left behind took their car off the road and worked to keep the country moving. Post-war elation and prosperity propelled Americans to take to the road. And convenience, variety, and economy of travel for relatively obscure locations in the U.S. and Canada drove them in increasing numbers to the motor coach. With a huge growth in highway construction toward the end of the decade, the motor coach industry was instrumental in making even the most remote areas accessible to ever-increasing numbers of travelers looking to discover America. With new intercity highway system and air conditioning and restrooms beginning to be standard in all new motor coaches, the 1950s saw huge growth in travel by large numbers of the American public. Urban flight of the suburbs created new growth in commuter bus lines. However, an event that brought the 1940s challenges of Jim Crow laws to a head, the event that created shockwaves in the very fiber of the American consciousness, involved bus rider Rosa Parks, who refused to give her seat to a white gentleman on December 1, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama. Thus, the bus became intimately tied to the civil rights movement, the enormous changes it brought to American society. This association of buses with the civil rights movement continued well into the 1960s. Busloads of freedom riders descend on the South to join Martin Luther King's disciplined and nonviolent mass protest against injustice. Even continuing today, whenever there's a mass gathering, it's the motor coach that enables huge numbers of people to be present for particular causes. Toward the end of the 1960s, continuing into the 1970s, the American spirit seemed to break loose from the crises of Depression, World War, and Cold War, and it was motor coach that led a generation in its search for America. In the later 1970s, the burdens of recession, shortages in gasoline brought an increase in ridership on the nation's motor coaches. The motor coach industry was instrumental in spearheading the move to energy-efficient transportation, as concerns for our environment and the necessity of conserving our resources reached a peak. And if any issue is to define a decade, no single word in all the arguments over integration has inspired so much controversy as busing. Beginning in the 1970s and continuing into the 1980s, Americans began forsaking domestic travel in favor of European tours. Ironically, as they traversed Europe in great numbers, they were introduced to modern, luxurious motor coaches. When they came back to the States, the travelers made their desires known to motor coach operators. And the industry responded with new engineering advances, spacious vehicles, panoramic windows, and an increasing number of amenities for passenger comfort. Toward the end of the 1980s, the motor coach industry once again led the way in providing the most fuel-efficient and environmentally responsible way to travel. This attitude has led to an increase in passengers of nearly 30% over the last 5 years. Bill Clinton's decision in 1992 to campaign by bus was a stroke of marketing and political genius. The image he projected was a man of the people. He could gather great numbers of people as routes, because crowds who could not afford to follow him around on plane could afford to go as a group by motor coach. Publicity from radio and TV broadcasts that followed the coach's schedules and progress was immeasurable for the Clinton campaign. The use of the motor coach made the campaign seem relaxed, easy, and friendly, something that could not have been achieved with any other method of transportation. It proves once again how unique motor coach travel is. As we enter the next century, we'll surely see incredible advances in the design and ride comfort of the modern motor coach. Video screens, audiovisual systems, recliner-like seats, sleepers, bars, and restaurants are all reality onto these motor coaches. It seems as if motor coaches are always there for the American people, helping them function and even relax in an increasingly complex world. There will always be someone who doesn't want to use a car. Airfare may be too high or there is no airport at all. Railroad tracks might be covered with weeds. But in America, you can always find a bus to get you to the next town or around the country. And the motor coach industry will always be the transportation vehicle that keeps on moving America.